Hey everyone, welcome back to Pride Adventure Podcast. I'm so excited about today's guest. He's not only one of the most familiar faces in our community here in Los Angeles, but he's also the heart and soul behind so many of our unforgettable events we have. He's our adventure director, he's our social captain of California Gay Adventures. Please welcome Bob Gillan. Yeah, I'm
Thank
so
you very much.
excited to have you on. I wanted to ask one question right up front. What is California Gay Adventures? What is CGA to you?
I think the simplest is California Gay Adventures is an organization of LGBTQIA plus members who basically want to get together and do some sort of fun activities, whether they're social or hiking or camping, outdoors. Adventures is really the key. And the way I always describe it to people is when you're trying to meet new friends, trying to meet new people, get involved in something that isn't an app on your phone and isn't like a bar somewhere, but something like, let's get outdoors and do stuff together. It's a way of finding a community who wants to go out and do adventures, small as just doing something for one night and as bigger as going around the world.
Bob and I have worked together for a while, so it's just been awesome to work with you and to do what we do. We're going to talk a lot about more of CGA in just a minute, but I just wanted to get that out there.
Yeah.
Now we want to understand, who is Bob? Everybody sees you at the social events, and this is an opportunity to talk about ourselves. Where are you living right now, and where did you grow up?
Yeah, we're in Los Angeles right now. I was born and raised in Southern California, so I'm a native. Monterey Park specifically, which is a suburb outside of Los Angeles. I'm of a certain age. I was a kid in the 70s and 80s, raised in a suburban family.
Drinking out of the water hose and all that stuff, you
Drank
know?
out of the water hose, played outside, and we were told to stay outside until dinner time. Very Gen X.
Yeah.
And have you ever seen the TV show Wonder Years? That's
Oh,
probably
yeah. I love that show.
what it was when I was a very little kid. And I did a lot of stuff like outdoor stuff. Like I was in YMCA Indian Guides, which I don't know if that's all over the place or if that's
No,
around
I've never
people.
heard of that one.
But YMCA had this group for a thing for kids called Indian Guides. I did it with my dad and my brother. I'm the youngest of two brothers, so I have an older brother and me. And we did that, and then I also joined Webelos, which is the thing between Cub Scouts and Boy Scouts. And then I was in Boy Scouts, and I got up to, let's see, Star. There's Star Life Eagle. So I got up to Star, and that was probably like freshman year in high school. At that point, I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. But I was patrol leader. They're Boy Scouts. We learned how to do stuff, went camping, did summer trips, things like that. And those generally, that's a lot of the stuff that I liked. That's one of the reasons I wanted to initially get into CGA was because I was like, oh, people who might want to go camping and stuff. And I haven't been camping in forever. That was
I was
kind of,
going to ask that. Like, how long was that, like, between?
you know what? And one of the reasons is because it's not really a thing you're like, hey, friends, let's all go camping. There's so many factors in it that it's like when you're working, I'll back up a little and just say, okay, so I grew up and was in the closet and went away to college. And when I went away to college is when I started like leading a double life and going out and doing stuff, sneaking out to gay bars or gay clubs away from, I went to San Diego State, SDSU.
Okay.
That's where I went to school. So I was in San Diego and learning like just leading double life, ended up in a fraternity, and they certainly didn't know I was gay. So I was in a fraternity. I'd sneak out and go to Hillcrest in San Diego and would hope that no fraternity guy, no brother saw me out there. But I also always thought if I go into a bar and I see him, then we both have something on each other.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my gosh, I went through some of that too.
Yeah, yeah. So it was very much that. And so a lot of times, so I was in school down there, didn't really have the kind of friends necessarily where we're like, oh, we're going to go out and go camping. Now in my fraternity, which I loved, it was fun. We had a good time in the fraternity and everything, even though I'm leading a double life, but it was still fun, very social. I put on different things there, events like I forgot what they were. There's a dance thing where we invited sorority, but we went camping. We did a lot of stuff where we would go up and rent a cabin in Big Bear. And
Oh, cool.
So we did that kind of stuff. It was college. So the cabin involved basically, let's go up somewhere and get really drunk at the cabin. It was still fun and social.
That hasn't changed much.
It hasn't changed much. So it's still that kind of thing. So doing all that. And then when I came back into LA and I was basically getting into, and I'll just give you the rundown. Basically, I was into trying to break into the entertainment business. So I did that. I worked in different aspects of TV production for different studios in Los Angeles. And then eventually just came bursting out of the closet anyway, because I was like, if somebody doesn't like me for being gay, I can't do anything about that. It's not my problem.
No, that's awesome. So it's the Weeblos and college and all of that kind of gave you a little bit of a, and I have to kind of say that CGA is not necessarily just outdoors. So it's adventure, but it's not just outdoors. A social piece
No.
that you just said,
Yeah.
that's a huge piece, just making connections with other people. But when you're going through that, and thank you for sharing the past, I think that people don't get that when we're like going to social events and stuff. So I think that's pretty cool. The other thing I think people like have questions about is, what do you like do? And what is your passions now these days? Do you want to share some of that?
Yeah. So basically, I was going to say that honestly, like a lot of times when when I was working in TV production, I'm working really long hours. I would go out and do stuff, basically just be with friends and go to have dinner at houses, go out and just having kind of like a social life with friends, whether we're going out or we're doing maybe going on vacation together and stuff like that. So I think a lot of it's interesting because I think about what are my hobbies. I have different hobbies and more hobbies now that I'm not in TV production. And some of those hobbies have led to like work I'm doing now. Like now I'm actually not in TV production, but more in learning a new craft, which is sewing. So I consider myself sewist in training. We don't say seamstress anymore. We say sewist. So
And you've been doing some of these sales and stuff, I've noticed. Like,
yeah, so I've had
how's that going?
it's actually been great because me and my partner, he's the one who had all the sewing machine things, and I started learning the stuff. We started turning my garage. I have a little house. We turned my garage into a studio. Now I'm very lucky. Where I live, there's a lot of foot traffic goes by in the front of the house. And so we opened up this garage, which is in front. It's like a little 1920s house, and set up a sign and everything, and basically started selling things that he made. I started selling bags that I made, hats that I made. And then recently we've started selling secondhand clothes that we've gotten from different areas and different people. Ironically, some from some CGA friends who were getting rid of stuff in their closet and like, we'll take it. So we've taken it and resold it at a monthly sale that we've had in front of the house and had so many people walk by that it's actually made it quite lucrative for what we're
Wow,
doing.
I wish you guys so much luck on and success on doing that.
Yeah.
I think it's really fun to get to know people outside of what the CGA, like their persona is.
Yeah.
It's neat. Let's talk about why we do this podcast, basically. Pride Adventure podcast is to bring people together all over really my goal is all over the country. I would want to bring all the different outdoor adventure groups, social groups, different people that promote inclusivity, or there's a big issue out there in the world today of like just the battle of loneliness. There's a lot of people, they go to work, they come home, they may go out to dinner once in a while with a friend, but they're just watching TV and they don't want to do the bar scene. You already mentioned that. And it's just, there's the bar scene, there's Grinder, and what else is there? So I think that organizations, California Gay Adventures, or other organizations in the Los Angeles area, like the Great Outdoors and other things, are great organizations that do this for us. So I want to jump in and just ask you, like, when did you first get involved with CGA and how did that kind of come about in your life?
It's funny because you basically said exactly why I originally found it and joined it. I'm trying to think, I think it was 2019. At that time, because CGA has grown and CGA started as a Facebook group. And I think I'd found the Facebook group and was intrigued. It sounded like a fun, oh, this is a social thing. And the reason is for that same thing, for loneliness, for wanting to connect with people. Like sometimes when you have your set of friends and your gay friends, and as gay or straight, when people start pairing up and getting married and doing that, then they have their dogs, they have their fur babies or maybe the kids and stuff. People start getting separated and stuff. And then you're like, oh, nobody's going out and doing all this stuff as much anymore. And maybe I don't want to go to a bar all the
And how do you make those new connections?
And where? Yeah, you can do it online, but you can feel like you have a lot of friends, but that's not the same. You need human connection, one-on-one. You need to see a person in front of you. And honestly, I remembered like that, like a fraternity, it's a way to meet a lot of people. And I'm fairly gregarious. I can be friendly and everything, but then I can also sometimes be shy.
Yeah, you're like really friendly, but then you need your days where you're just laying on the couch doing nothing.
Exactly. So I need to decompress. So basically for this one though, is when in 2019, so I think I found it might've been a bonfire. And that's how I started meeting these people, and all various ages and various backgrounds in Los Angeles at the time. And I really liked it because of the fact that it's, oh, good, I get to meet a lot of people. Don't have to be friends with all of them, but there's a bunch of people and we all have different things in common. Now, what I didn't have in common is I didn't do camping things or anything like that, but I was kind of like, I've done it before and I'm like, I'll go by. I went out and got my tent. I got my tent out of the garage and stuff like that and went on my first camping trip. And that was a lot of fun because it was just basically what's fun is when you can relax in your community and not be like uptight of, oh, what are people going to think of me? I don't know. It just, for some reason, it felt like, oh, this is very comfortable and with people that I'm comfortable with, having a good time going out and enjoying the outdoors, enjoying campfires.
Yeah. I remember we had a beach bonfire that we're supposed to have, and we actually couldn't get a spot. And so we ended up having it at my house in the
Right.
backyard. I don't know if
Right.
you remember that and
Yes.
stuff. We put
Yes.
together the propane pit, we put all the chairs out, and we made
That
it
was fun.
fun. We made it what it was. And I
And it
do
was,
remember that's one of the first events that I remember meeting you at. Maybe we did a beach bonfire before, but that's the one that I really remember. I think you came up to me and said, "Hey, how can I get more involved? How can I do more?"
maybe that was there. Yeah. You know what? I'm thinking of that because the thing is, what I always remember is my first camping trip when we went out to the desert and it was hot and everything. And we went four by four. So I remember that. And I think I remember meeting you and getting to know you much better there. And it was the reason that I enjoyed it, but I like helping and doing stuff. And I don't want to say like being in charge, but I guess I like helping organize stuff because I've done it. I put on my homecoming like dance in high school. And so I think looking back on it, I put stuff on and I enjoy doing those kind of
Yeah, no, you've done a great
things.
job with that. I
So,
was just curious, like internally, what made you want to step into leadership and kind of
oh,
at the same thing of what you're doing today. Can you describe what your role is?
yeah. So I think honestly, how I got into it, CGA was fun. I thought it was a great idea. And the Facebook group eventually became an organization getting bigger and bigger. And obviously we were filling a void in terms of what people wanted, in terms of like a lot of people say this is why I joined it for the reason because it was like, yeah, I could meet people and it wouldn't have to be at a bar. It's not online. It's like we get to do stuff that we're all craving, which is connection. And so I like getting involved in that. That was fun. One of the main reasons I started helping out and honestly, doing more stuff is I had a good time and I could see that the leader was overwhelmed with the amount of, there's only so many hours in the day that this guy, Chris, could do all these things. And I'm like, I could help with this. And I was excited because I'm like, good. I like feeling like, oh, I could contribute this in terms of we have camping, we have hiking. Maybe we can do some more social stuff. The bowling one, that was fun. Cool. What else will people be interested in? Let's post that. So we started just adding more social things on and realizing that for CGA, it's a component, it's made up of camping, hiking, basically adventure, which includes social stuff, whether it's daytime, evening things. It's really just a matter of getting people in the community together. People are members together to do fun stuff.
Yeah, and as you got more involved, and as other people get involved in our organization that hopefully we'll get on here as well, it's enabled us to expand out because, like you said, one person can't do everything. My passions are a little different. I actually love the social stuff, but I just couldn't do a lot of that stuff. So it's like camping, four-wheel drives, going on little weekend getaways. I like that, and I never even would have thought about putting a monthly bowling event on and stuff like that. Is there anything you could say to like the CGA members that may be watching that's kind of maybe there's something that kind of people maybe don't realize what it takes to put on a CGA event?
I would say that probably I'm not sure if they necessarily don't realize because probably it's one of those things where they're just like, oh, this is fun. I just show up and just have a good time and everything. But obviously there's things where we're figuring out how much does something cost. We're paying it ahead of time. How many people do we need to go there and all that? And generally I think the social events that work for CGA are ones where people can show up. They know that they know they're being taken care of, but also they're everything's not being handed to them. And that's certainly like camping and all that kind of stuff. But for social events, yeah, we're getting together, we're having a good time. You don't have to worry about the details, you
Yeah.
know?
Let's talk about your current role as adventure director that's happened this year. So you took you're part of the board of directors and you
Yep.
took the adventure director position and also social captain.
Yep.
What are you looking for as far as other members that may want to get involved and help?
What I'd really love are people who are thinking of it. I'm thinking of as, oh, this is really fun. I'm getting something out of this organization. Like I'm getting to go to these things because if you're in this organization, you have events and things at a super, super low membership price, ridiculous. You had to actually get to go out and meet up with friends and do things socially. And every month there's stuff. There's hiking, there's trips. So there's so many things, so many adventures you can do that I think a lot of people see that that's really valuable and they want to basically, I think, pay it forward and go, you know what,
Yeah.
I'm getting a lot out of this. I want to pay it forward and actually help out a little bit. And what I like to encourage people to do from my perspective as adventure director too, is I want them to just, you don't have to do a lot. We have a lot of members. And if all you do is one thing, that's great because we have X amount in the year and that's all we need.
And I feel like you've done a great job at that. I feel
Yeah.
like you've really found where people's strengths are. I think of certain people in my mind. I won't say their names, but and they're really good at doing certain things and they love that. And so you find that passion that they have and say, hey, we just want you to do that 3 times a year or twice a year. And it works.
And it adds up. And then all of a sudden, next thing you know, you have 24 plus events. Like for me, selfishly, that's my goal is like, that's why I like finding people who are scared. They initially like, I can't do what you're doing. Look at all this stuff. Your face is everywhere because I happen to write the events. So my face ends up on a lot of stuff. So people think I'm doing all of it, but it's like, no, I have people who are working on these different events as hosts. And what I found works is exactly what you said. You find the people who are maybe they're first intimidated by, oh, I don't know how to organize stuff. But I'm like, no, all you have to do is just find us a place to go see a movie this month. That's it.
Yeah.
And we'll figure the rest of it out.
Do you have a favorite event maybe, or even a series of events that you've helped put together?
I think over the years, because I'll go a little historical in terms of how we've expanded the social side, separate from hiking and camping, we'll just say, but social side, social and day adventures or day outings. So for socials and day outings, we start off with just a bowling night. We're like, this is fun. Let's do this every month. And then we're like, oh, roller skating. This is fun. Let's do this every month too, or every other month. So we just started adding on things that sounded fun. What would be a fun event to get people to that's in the area? And then that led to summertime. Let's meet at the beach once a month for beach day. That's fun. And make it a potluck. People can bring stuff. That's fun. And one of the things I think it's weird because potluck is a good example, is a good metaphor for this organization because everybody brings a little something and all of a sudden we have a feast. We have a lot because everybody brings just a little something. And I think that's what makes it's that whole thing where everybody's bringing a little bit. And then all of a sudden, because we're all doing it as a group, we have a whole bunch of stuff. We're like more than we'd ever get if we brought everything.
Oh, it's totally true. I like that idea.
Yeah.
That's a great metaphor. And I always heard when I've thrown like pool parties and stuff in the past that if you want someone to show up to a party, ask them to bring something.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a great thing. So essentially, as we've added on like beach days and we've added on different things and then thinking about let's do things. One of the ones that when we're thinking of ideas for adventures and stuff is what's something that people really want to do, but they can never find their friends to have the right time to do it and all that. So, yeah, I really want to go to Renaissance Fair. Okay, we're going to go to the Renaissance Fair. So that's great. We can get a group of us to all go to the Renaissance Fair, group of us to go to this museum that people want to go to. So it's that thing where you're like, you might want to go to the Balloon Museum, which was one of our events a couple weeks ago.
But who do you go with?
Who are you going to go with? Who's doing it? And all of a sudden, us, because we have enough people. We have 800 plus people in the area. And so if enough of them want to go to the museum, you can all go together as a big fun group.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I want to switch it to a little bit back to kind of culture and community. I would love to talk about the worries and fears that people have kind of when they're jumping into an organization. A lot of times it's a situation where am I going to be welcome? Am I going to be, are there different, I don't even know how to explain it, but there are different body types and different colors and different, everything under the rainbow. How am I going to feel comfortable? Do you have anything that you would say to somebody that's just not sure yet?
I could tell you a personal one for me for the camping trip. And this is one where I was like, did I make a big mistake? It's not related to what you're thinking of. So it's earlier than that. Okay. So first camping trip at CGA and I came out. We basically went out somewhere and had to stay overnight somewhere before we continue on. And basically everybody was meeting up for breakfast in this place. And I came in and I saw all these different people sitting at different tables, and I didn't really know any of them. And I'm looking around, I'm like, oh man, I don't know where to sit. Nobody knows me. So nobody's like, hey, come, Bob, come sit over here. So I was feeling a little, oh, do I just have to sit by myself? I don't know where any open things and all that. But
Yeah.
eventually I found like a table inside a chair and just started talking to people. And so I always remember that as a part where when you really don't know anybody, it can be a little intimidating because the other people are all talking. You're like, wow, I feel like I got to a party late. But I remember that, and I make sure and try to make sure that when people are new and joining something like this, that they feel relaxed and welcome. And there's a special situation with our community and our organization is you could have a lot of people who could be traumatized is too strong of a word, but maybe just very much reticent about, oh, am I going to be liked or rejected? Look, I'm a gay man, and so I think you grow up at a certain age, and you're like, you don't want to be rejected, and you're
Yeah.
afraid you're going to be rejected for being gay. That's an internalized thing, and so I think sometimes that could come up in situations where you're meeting new people and trying to get in a new social group. Are they going to accept me? Are you going to be accepted? And so I think the one thing that CGA does as we've grown and stuff, and what I remember, because I remember even thinking about it, even as CGA grows, because I've been with CGA since its earlier years as we've expanded.
Hmm.
And I know that there's been times you're like, okay, what is CGA going to be? What is it? And the leadership and people have made a conscious decision to be like, we're open to everyone. We're not, there's no, this is not a clique. This is not a exclusive club. We're open to anyone. And that includes ages, body types, ethnicities, basically everything. It's like that. All you have to do is you just have to want to join and want to be with us while we go have adventures.
Just come in with an open just attitude of wanting to meet people, and
Yep.
you will. I guarantee you will meet people.
And basically just be respectful of the other people around you.
And I think that we've done a good job of the to our own horns, but I think we've done a good job of that, especially in camping trips. Sometimes people will show up and they'll have an expectation of what a gay camping trip is,
Right.
and the people that don't fit the everyone's welcome, everyone, because every once in a while there is that, they filter out so quickly. They
Mhm.
come into the group, they leave the group, and what we have left is just our really awesome group of people that are very welcoming. That's what I see.
And it's understandable that, yes, people can have a preconceived notion of, oh, what is this group? And so I think they quickly figure out, oh, this group is just very open, respectful in terms of boundaries. We are an adventure in terms of camping and social and outdoor stuff and indoor stuff, all this stuff. But
It's not like the guys that have to you're an adventure group, so you don't have to be these fit 6-pack guys that are running up the mountains every day.
yeah.
You know,
And honestly, that's one of the things that I like too, because I wasn't fit and I was like, I didn't feel intimidated. I can't do this. Oh, these are all like muscle gym guys. There is no way I'm not part of that group. I like seeing other people, a wide variety of bodies and everything. I'm like, okay, so some of us are going to go, some of us are going to go to Lake Tahoe. Some is going to go on a hike. And you know what? Some of us are going to go to a spa in Lake Tahoe and have a good time. That's what I like, a spa for spa for massage. I'm getting
it's okay. It can mean whatever
normal
people take
spa.
it as. Bob going to the special gay spa in Tahoe.
Yeah, exactly. No. Yeah.
No, that's awesome. So the last question I have in this section is kind of like, do you have, and we can't, I think if as long as you feel comfortable, you can name names, but do you have any friendships or any special connections that you've made through CGA?
Yeah. Honestly, almost too many to like. I feel that I feel that I've met a lot of people, and basically on a personal level, people my age, people younger, I would say the majority of my new friends are people who are in CGA. And it doesn't mean also that all the people, because some people can filter in and out of CGA, but I can still be friends with them. Things happen. But I would say that in the past 5 years, the majority of my new friends have been with CGA.
That's nice when we hear those. We have some people that have actually, they came into it not expecting a relationship, and now they're in a long-term relationship, and it's in some way that they were able to connect through an event, which is pretty cool.
Then I would say Chris Smith, because that was it. Honestly, you were that person where I'm like, damn, this Mormon, or ex-Mormon, such a happy go-getter type of guy. And I was like, I love seeing that. I love seeing your energy, not to toot your own horn, but I love seeing your energy. And I'm like, if he can do that, I can do that.
Yeah.
So I liked you have a good energy to bring people in. You have that.
I appreciate that.
To bring a lot of people in.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. I know we're running out of time, but I just wanted to talk a little bit about, are there any events in 2025 that people should really kind of, other than the bowling and stuff like that, do you have anything on the top of your mind that you're excited about?
I would say that I'm always excited about, we've done monthly beach events, which have been really fun. And one thing that one of my newer friends, Jim, who was actually on the podcast.
Jim Potash.
Yeah. And he actually came up with the idea the summer before for Barbie, where let's do a Barbie themed beach event. And so we did that, and he made little outfit things, and we just had a fun time, like a Barbie theme. And so from that point on, we're like, you know what, this is fun. So this last year we did themes each month. We had a pirate theme, gold theme, a lot of fun, a scavenger hunt. So I like adding on to stuff that we did the year before.
I love the themes. I think it's awesome. And I definitely want to get together with you guys, because I think it would be fun to even really promote those, whether it's on Instagram or whatever. Just show up to the beach in a pink theme or whatever it is. And we'd probably have non-CGA members come in theme, and we'd be able to invite them in.
And I'll tell you, that's one of the things too, is you can look at it and go, oh, that's goofy or dorky and everything. But I think what CGA allows us to do is to be stupid and dorky and have fun. Like, basically be like, fuck it, we're just doing this. I don't care if we look foolish. We're having a good time and we're enjoying it.
I'm going to do a case in point, and I'm going to share a picture right here on the screen of us in Big Sur camping in onesies.
Yes,
all of us. Talk about the most dorky, silly thing. We did a literally onesie parade in front of the entire campground.
Families and everything. Yeah.
Coming out and cheering us. We're listening to the music. We've got a train of, what was it, 80, 100 people. And we all went to the edge of the cliff and got an amazing photo. Those are the moments you actually really remember, right? In my opinion.
And we've never had, the thing is, you go, oh, are people going to hate us? No, we've never had a problem. I guess when you have we did the same thing, and this is on other stuff you can talk about, but it was like, on the boat, we did the thing, and people loved us with the wigs and stuff. But so I was just going to say that some of the stuff coming up, I want to expand on the theme things for the beach, but I also love that we do things. The Sinespia movie nights are always so fun. What we've done is, because we've had a few years doing this, that we've added in several things that are fun annual events. Like our pumpkin carving is a lot of fun. This year we're going to be doing something, and fingers crossed we get it, but we're going to be in the West Hollywood Pride Parade, and we're going to have some kind of a float or display, and
that's
we're
exciting.
Marching. It's going to be a lot of fun. So that was the one. And then, of course, our annual holiday party, and hopefully our annual pool party. So I like all the things that they're repeating, that we keep expanding on each year.
Always lots to do, lots of work to do. We always need people that want to get involved, jump in, contact Bob. Let us know if you want to come in and help, even if it's on a volunteer basis where you're just helping with one thing. I think it's important to the organization.
Yeah, that's how people start, because honestly, you have somebody's, okay, why don't you sit and check people in for this event?
I'd like to tell a story about Bob. And actually, I already told this story. It's okay. It's a different one. And I'm wearing the t-shirt for it.
You please tell the story. Yeah. Oh my God.
Bob, which of the weekend getaways and international trips have you gone on with us?
I name them off the top of my head. The Alaskan cruise, the Yucatan Peninsula, the Costa Rican trip. Yep, Costa Rican, Lake Tahoe. That was a trip at some point for that too, for Independence Day, I think.
No, that's great. So I want to mention the Costa Rica trip, because I already mentioned it before with Jim's interview, but because it's something that Bob learned a big lesson while we were in Costa Rica, and I learned a big lesson. When Bob asked you, hey, am I allowed to eat this fruit? I should say, I don't know. Maybe you should figure. And so, Bob, we were in Costa Rica, this beautiful beach, 2 beaches that come together on each side. It was awesome. and the manzanilla fruit or something like that.
No, we
Wasn't it
just finished
called?
like a big nature hike walk through this nature area, end up at this beautiful beach, and there's this tree with fruit coming off of it. And it's, oh, what are those? Those are, guavas? I don't know.
You even asked me, Chris, what do you think? Should I eat it? I'm like,
Chris is like,
try.
yeah. He says, oh, yeah, it's probably like a whatever it is. He said something, and I'm like, yeah, okay. So I pick it up, and it's a little fruit thing, and I take a bite of it. And I'm like, oh, it's sweet. Oh, it's actually now it burns a little bit back of my throat. Okay, maybe I better not eat it. So I spit it out, and I'm like, okay, my throat's still burning. Oh, my mouth is burning. And then somebody points out, oh, you should look at this sign on the other side of the tree, which is on the other side of the tree. So we're over here.
That exact tree.
Like, go to the other side of the tree, and it says peligro. I'm trying to think of what the Spanish was, but all of it had danger stuff all over with skulls.
I think there was a skull and crossbones on it.
Yeah. There's a picture of it. If we find the picture, you can probably put that one up. Because Vishal took a picture. He's like, yeah, Bob, you better come over and look at this. One of our other people who were there. And it basically turned out to be one of the most dangerous, it's one of the most toxic plants to humans in the world. At least
in the world. Oh, I didn't know that
at
part.
least in the Americas.
Luckily, you just got a little juice in your mouth. You didn't actually swallow anything.
Yeah.
But I do remember you ran off and you were trying to find food to eat. And I think you tried a whole bunch of snacks and you
I
had a
drank
soda.
milk and ice cream because I'm like, okay, maybe that helps. And is all reading up. Of course, Vishal, one of the other members, is helpfully sending me all this information about what danger that my intestines are going to be dissolve or something like that. So luckily, by the evening, everything was fine. I think I might have just taken a little tiny bit down the throat, and it was okay. But I did learn a really valuable lesson, which everybody kept reminding me is, Bob, don't put things in your mouth that you don't know where they came from. That's what I learned.
I think we learned those back in the 70s and 80s when
Learned it all the
time. Hose.
Exactly. And I was a Boy Scout, so, I should have known. But
yeah, totally. I think this has been great.
So
It's been awesome to get to know you a little bit more. I think people that are watching are like, oh, okay, I learned something new about Bob. So I think that's really cool. Is there anything that you feel like maybe we missed on this podcast at all about you or CGA or?
I was just going to say, if you want to show the T-shirt with a little.
I can't because I have a camera that follows my face. So if I do this, look, watch.
Right.
Oh, there.
Right. I didn't think about that. Okay.
There it is. There's a fruit somewhere.
There it is.
Right there.
There it is above the A. Yeah. So that is the fruit that I ate. And so we put it on there. There's a little Easter egg on the T-shirt that we got afterward. So I'm enshrined on the T-shirt, my misfortunes.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, as far as from this podcast, anybody that's watching that is in the Southern California area, all of California, we would love to have you join us in California Gay Adventures, CGA. We're excited to be able to offer all of these events and things like that we do for everyone. We even have members that are outside of California that show up, and we have a couple of them that come out all the way from the East Coast to come out, go whitewater rafting or go camping with us, or even go on some of our big trips. So we are open to members all over the place, but we are mostly in the Southern California area.
And we are having Southern California covered really well. We have San Diego, Orange County, Long Beach, Inland Empire, and Los Angeles in terms of hike social events. We keep expanding. And what's great is because we keep having more members who want to help do stuff. So that helps us expand into big areas.
I think that's the key. I'm happy to have you on the show, Bob, and excited to have you as part of the team and look forward to the future.
This is great. Thank you so much.
Thank you for listening to the Pride Adventure Podcast. I'm Chris, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. Stay tuned for future guests. Have an idea for someone we should feature? Email me at chris@prideadventures.com. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us for more adventures with Pride.